It's time to travel to Manila, go to immigration, stay at a nice hotel. Oh, and Filipino Nazis, stick around. Not really Nazis, just letting everybody know how they feel. And we'll visit the Jose Rizal Monument. Okay, good morning. We are on our way to town to fly to Manila for the week or so, however long it takes. We got delayed a little bit because there was some rooster fighting going on. Couldn't miss that. I know some of you think it's horrific, but everybody has different views on that. I'm not going to try to win you or sway you. Hey, girl. There's my Sherpa up there. Ella. Hey. But of course, this is my beautiful wife. And the reason that we're going to Manila is to get our 13A visa processed, so that way I don't have to go to immigration every month and a half. Yeah. Let me carry that for you, sure. What's going on, guys? Y'all look like you're up to no good. All right, Ella. Looky. We have somebody picking us up at the airport when we get to Manila. Of course, we've got to take that big van long ride to Tacloban, which is always a party. And then we'll let you know how everything goes with immigration. Got all of our documentation if you don't know what you need for things like that. We'll go over the list, so stick around. Here we are at the Grand Tours Terminal. And like I said, it's about a 3-hour drive to Tacloban. Although last time it took us only 2 hours. The guy drove like a bat out of hell. I thought I was in a Meatloaf song or something. It's always like rolling the dice, but it's okay. What you doing, honey? You ready for the trip? Hello. You ready for a nice trip? We're going to Manila. Maybe we'll go to the beach. Who knows? Play in the sand. All right, we've made it. That wasn't such a bad trip, was it? We're gonna get something to eat. All right, it's flying time. Ella, look, it's flying time. This will be Ella's first flight. Now, I've been on very long flights with kids crying for like 13 hours when I'm flying from the United States to Asia. And the thing is I know some people just hate it. But what I get upset about is I feel for the parents. All right, we have made it. Briella's first trip to Manila. Ooh, how was the flight, honey? Good? Yeah. She was really good. I know a moment ago before we landed, I was talking about on camera about how kids were crying, on planes, and you should feel sorry for the parents, not feel bad for the kids. Well, there were a couple of kids crying almost the entire way, and man, I wanted to choke those little men. I'm just kidding. But you were great. You did a great job. Thank you. Okay, we made it to Manila. I haven't done a whole lot of filming yet. We're up on the 10th floor here, the Bayview in Manila, of course, overlooking Manila Bay, and there's the embassy and all of that stuff, all the public offices and things. So we're going to immigration today, so I don't have to go to immigration every month and a half to 2 months to get my visa extension. I got my ACR card. I have all that. I've got my, what is it, the I always mess that up. The NBI. I always think the BMI because I was in radio and it's a radio term. So the NBI, I got all of that, everything. I was going to do some filming earlier, but our daughter Ella has been such a titty baby this morning. Look at her. Oh, there. Maybe that's it. Maybe she just wants to be filmed all the time. Extreme close-up. All right, let's head on downstairs and go see how this was. Well, of course, first stop, ATM. They're going to want to suck thousands of pesos out of me. So that's just par for the course. I'll let you know how much it all cost at the end of the video. So.
Hala, marunong kang mag-smile sa camera.
Yeah, I want to be a star. Yeah.
Daw wala kang instant. Instant, tapos pinindot ko lang, tapos naging.
Alright, girls. Well, I'm here at the immigration office in Manila, and it is a madhouse. Be prepared to keep your wits about you and remain relaxed at all times, and don't get worked up, because if you have a little bit of anxiety or a temper, you will probably go off. I'm just saying. But everything's going to be fine. I got a guy. And if you want to come here, you'll need a guy too. Or a gal. Doesn't matter. I feel pretty confident the guy that's dealing with my paperwork is wearing a Black Sabbath shirt. So I hope I'm in good hands. He may be powered by Ozzy and Tony Iommi. I don't know. I love it when people express their feelings. It's a beautiful thing. I say if you plan on visiting the Philippines and you want to learn about their culture, the history, and really what set things in motion as far as the independence of the Philippines, you have to visit the Jose Rizal National Monument. Jose Rizal was an ophthalmologist, a doctor, Dr. Jose Rizal, Dr. Rizal, and he was also a very, very intelligent man, and he wrote two of the most important books in the Philippines, one of them being this here, and the other one being this here. And he wrote those while he was in Belgium, and in fact, I'm sure if you've watched a lot of blogs about the Philippines, you've heard about the slums of Tondo. Well, it wasn't like that many, many, many years ago. In fact, Jose Rizal's family came from Tondo. That's where their family home was. But really, really fantastic books. The only sad thing about it is if you read them, the Philippines still suffers, aside from the friars being in charge, the Catholic Church really being in charge. Sure, Roman Catholic Catholicism is still very, very alive here, but back in his day and prior to that, they controlled everything when the Spanish were here, and it wasn't pretty at all. A lot of them used his name as fodder to start the revolution, but his way was never to do it violently. It was to do it through education of the children. I think what's unfortunate today is a lot of the problems that he talked about in those two novels still really, really exist. Those that are really well off still looking down on the poor, the different races, things like that. But it is all one Philippines, and if everybody could just work together, and I know it's like, what, Jerome, are you a hippie? If we all could just get along, I think this place could be one of the most magnificent places on the planet, as if it's not there already. As far as the beauty of this place, the people are so kind. It's just that you have these social constructs where others look down on others, and Nobody wants to help. It's made up of, the over 7,600 islands. This archipelagic state is very, very tribal still to this day, and families look out for families, tribes look out for tribes. So if you've got tribes in charge, they're not looking at anybody else. They're looking at just making sure that they're taken care of, and that seems to be a lot of the problem. Of course, I don't claim to know it all. I've just, I do a lot of studying about this, and because it all really, really interests me. And, if you're into reading and everything, I would definitely take a look at those books. I think you'd find them really, really interesting. I know when you're in school here, you read them at a young age, but when you're a kid, you really don't care about all of that stuff. But I think it's really, really important, and it tells a very, very heart-striking message to where this could be just a fantastic place if those that were in the upper echelon would make sure that everybody is taken care of. And I know we get that in the U.S., you get that in governmental systems all around the world, but maybe they could pull their heads out of their asses. I'm speaking of all government entities, and realize the people have a right to live in a free society, a right to do well, not to be knocked down and hammered by the man, because truly everybody is equal under God. We're all of his children, and if you're non-religious and you don't like what I said there, sorry, it's just the way that I feel. And tomorrow is the Chinese New Year, so why not? I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff, these gardens. That's just me. This is what I'm into. Man, can I make a nice pond here. Even with the kids in the background, it's just peaceful, and I love it. There's a pond over here that's pretty large. I wonder if there's any koi in it. Or have they shipped in the Haitians, and along with cats and dogs, they're eating the koi too? Here's a statue of the man himself, Confucius, Kung Zu. I know when we were kids we used to have a lot of Confucius jokes, but he's been considered through the ages as one of the world's greatest teachers. And Confucianism is something definitely to be followed. It's all about respect, good governance, cultivation of virtue, correctness of social relationships, family values, hard work, discipline, justice, all that stuff. This thing is awesome. And although this looks like wood, it's concrete. That's how talented the artisans here are. Stuff looks just like wood. Look, I make it to Manila. I check into my room and I find 3 drunk girls and a baby. Did that come with the room? I didn't order a room like that.